Hey everyone, it's your boy Saif. I hope you're all doing great. Before I actually start talking about anything, I'm walking as per usual, so if the lighting fucking goes dark, then it's mainly because of the fact that I'm not around lights, so yeah. Because a couple of you guys were giving me fucking shit for it. Not the Discord people, no, but like my real life friends who actually use the same channel I use. Like basically the channel that you guys see, if you're from Discord, is a channel that basically me and like 3 other friends share. And we basically use it just to fuck around. Oh, here I am, I'm super dark again. We just basically use it to kind of talk about things that are in our minds, and yeah, it's just for the lols basically. It's like an interesting thing that was in our heads, so we're just, you know, rolling with the flow. We're seeing where it goes, and yeah, it'll be nice to look back at all these videos after a while, like in a year or two, just looking back and like listening to these vlogs, and yeah, that's why I'm doing them, I guess. So yeah, actually today I have a topic that I really want to talk about, like something that's been bugging me, not bugging me, but like something that's been triggering me is like a better word actually. If you hear cars, then I'm sorry, it's because I'm fucking driving in a place where there are so many cars. Yeah, but basically I'm talking about a place, I'm gonna be talking about this car distracted the shit out of me. Basically I'm gonna be talking about something that triggered me a lot, and this thing is basically Wafa Sultan. Basically, if you guys don't know who Wafa Sultan is, she is a woman who is basically a medical doctor. She used to be a Muslim, and she eventually left Islam after she went to the US, and yeah, like basically ever since she's left Islam, she's been just talking a lot of shit about Islam and about Muslims in general. And I don't know, like just listening to a lot of her videos and like hearing her side of the story, I guess you can kind of tell like you know, a lot of the things that she's saying is really over exaggerated or just bullshit in general. So I just want to talk about that, like, because it's been in my head, and like it's been in my head to the point where I actually wrote some things that triggered me about her. And I'm gonna be sharing these quotes with you. Like, look at all this, like more than basically a page is full. A page is full, and all of this entire page was filled up after watching an 8-minute video of her. It's like she has that much bullshit in her videos. So yeah. Let me start with the first quote. She says, basically she describes her book and she describes herself as a courageous woman who inflamed the Arab world by talking about the evils of Islam. Be right back. A fucking person's walking towards me. Okay, I can finally speak because I'm not awkward as shit anymore. No, sorry, I'm just not used to kind of talking to people when they're coming right towards me. It's just so awkward, like me holding my phone and just talking to it, so yeah. Anyways, where did I start? Yeah, basically Wafa Sultan basically describes herself as a courageous woman who inflamed the Arab world by talking about the evils of Islam. Alright, that statement alone just says a lot about her personality. Like, she practiced Islam for 30 years apparently, and she's reached a point where she basically thinks that Islam is evil, which I think is completely fine to actually make a statement like that. But you know, if it came with bullshit reasons, then that's where you kind of need to stop. The thing is, her Islam video, you could tell she was basically saying a lot of things about Islam because, I don't know, she wasn't just happy with the way things are what sort of things are happening in the Muslim society. It's kind of hard to explain. Let me just talk about this. Okay? She basically says this at the start of her book. Most Muslims, if not all, will condemn me to death for leaving Islam. That alone says a fucking lot. Like, that is her first sentence or her first part of her book, which is bullshit, because most Muslims will not condemn you. Trust me, I have been living in the Arab world for most of my life, not even most of my life, all of my life. And trust me, not one Muslim, I have never seen this type of exaggerated hatred that the media likes showing about Muslims in my entire fucking life. I've never seen it, you know? I haven't seen it on the streets. I haven't seen it from my friends. It's just not relevant. You don't see it anywhere. Okay. So that alone just says a lot about her. Like, most Muslims would never condemn you to death. Like, okay, it is your choice to leave. It is your life at the end of the day, you know? Like, I know a lot of people will hate you for doing it and they will wish death upon you, I guess. But saying that all Muslims will, please, I'm a Muslim and I'd never think of such a thing, is just bullshit, in my opinion. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you're creating this image in a lot of people's heads who aren't even fucking Muslims that, oh, us Muslims are really bad people, to the point where, oh, if you're not a Muslim, we'll just kill you, we'll just stab you, we'll make sure you're lit on fire or some shit, which is shit, because we're not like that at all. We're very friendly people, I promise you. The thing is, my mom works in the media industry, so I know a lot about these sort of things. Trust me, she's been a news presenter, she's been a producer, she's been everything in the news industry, so I know a lot about these sort of things. The news industry, like, even when I say this, you guys probably know this, the news industry basically likes putting things on air that attract attention. That is it. They don't do it to gain anything else out of it, trust me. They do it for the attention, because that is what gets them the most revenue and profits at the end of the day. So when you see like headlines like, Muslim man does this, like, a lot of people will just click it because it says the word Muslim in it, or they're just intrigued as to what this Muslim man did, you know? And that is literally it. So I don't know. Let me just continue with her bullshit. Okay, let me read. We are raised up and are constantly being brainwashed about the true nature of Islam. I wouldn't say brainwashed. Maybe like we're brought up and we're kind of raised in such a way that we don't have much of a say as to what goes on in Islam. Like, not really what goes on, as to how we kind of feel about Islam. Maybe that's the true significance of what she's actually trying to say, I guess. But I wouldn't say like we're being brainwashed. I don't believe I'm being brainwashed at all. If anything, Islam's really taught me a lot of things about everything. First of all, let me just say this. I'm like probably one of the least religious people you will ever meet in your entire life. Like, as a Muslim, I don't actually pray. I don't actually do the shit that I'm meant to do as a Muslim. I'm just gonna put that out there. So that's one thing you guys really need to know about me. So when I kind of talk about from a Muslim's perspective, you just need to understand that I'm very open-minded as a person. And yeah, I like being this way, because at the end of the day, I don't believe that, oh, if you're a Christian, you're going to go to hell, or, oh, if you're an atheist, you're definitely going to be thrown in hell. Man, at the end of the day, I have no idea what's going to happen to any of us, you know, like literally. As much as I'd like to say this and try to convince people otherwise, it is their choice at the end of the day. It's their choice to kind of roll with the flow. But things that I'm not okay with is when you have a person like Wafa Sultan, who basically just talks a lot of shit. She has interviews of her 45-minute song basically on YouTube, just fucking hating so much negativity, so much bullshit out of nowhere, and you don't even know where it's coming from. That's the problem. Ooh, a person just walked. Ooh, and I kept vlogging. Nice. Yeah, my main issues with people like Wafa Sultan, who basically make these videos and they just show so much negativity, and you know, it's like over-exaggerated sort of negativity, you know. This woman got like was listed as like the top 100 women in the world of most influential people or some shit in 2006. Which, I don't know, man. It's an American company that actually made that magazine as well. So, and she lives in America, so it was kind of one-sided for her a bit as well. So I don't know. Anyways, let me continue talking. She talks about, in one of her videos, she basically talks about getting death requests. She says, Muslims will never give up on trying to get me. As in, Muslims will never stop trying to actually come and kill me. All Muslims want to come and kill me. Man, that is really exaggerated. You know, like, honestly, in every single religion in the world, you have extremists. You have people who are really, really fucked up in the head, like, to the point where everything they they say, you can easily tell they're uneducated. They have no point of view that actually makes any logical sort of sense at the end of the day, you know. So I don't know, like just reading that alone like annoys me. Like Muslims are trying to get me. Oh my God, no, man. Muslims are trying to get you because you're saying a lot of bullshit about Islam. Maybe that is why. Like, okay, if you want to actually talk about your own experiences, your own opinions, then go for it. But don't say bullshit as well in the background. And if you guys don't notice, I'm just constantly turning around this area because there's so much light. So yeah, that's a thing. Let's see. I'm getting hate because I was brave enough to take the cruelty. Sorry. I just read it properly. I'm getting hate because I was brave enough to talk about the cruelty of Islam. That again, like cruelty of Islam, like what the fuck, girl? Like honestly, what cruelty of Islam? Like I'm fucking 21 years old, like turning 21 on the 15th of November. So I'm pretty close to 21, but honestly, what cruelty of Islam? Like it's pretty much non-existent. It's not around, you know. She just talks out of her ass a lot. She just talks a lot out of her ass. Okay. I'm talking about my suffering as a woman. They consider the truth as an insult. I don't know, like suffering / woman. She brought up the gender card, like just bringing up the gender as a woman. My God, man, like what the fuck? What the fuck are you trying to say? Like she has so much negativity. Every single fucking sentence she says is negative upon negative upon negative upon negative. And this woman is fucking Syrian, man. She's a Syrian doctor. She's very well educated. So that's what's really bizarre about the entire thing. Like you have this woman who has a PhD or is super smart apparently, but at the end of the day you just see so much negativity towards Islam and everything about Islam. So that's a problem. That's like very eye-opening, I guess. Actually, let me bring up this point since we're on this topic. One of the reasons she hates Islam so much is because when she was studying at university in Syria, she actually witnessed one of her professors being killed in front of her face, and the person who killed her professor apparently used a machine gun to kill him. And that guy was also shouting Allahu Akbar, which if you guys don't know stands for God is great. And at that moment she realized that, oh, Islam is not for me. Like if they are willing to do this for their God, then I don't want to be part of their God. I have to go try and look for another God. Basically that's what kind of triggered everything. And you know, like as much as it's a really shitty situation to kind of be brought up upon, at the end of the day, her professor was also a Muslim, and he died being a Muslim at the end of the day. And she left Islam because the guy who killed her professor basically shouted, God is great. And she was like, oh, I need to go look for another God. She said, that, by the way, everything I'm saying is in her own words. You know, I'm not making shit up or whatever. You can go check YouTube. That is exactly what she says. So yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Like I feel like her professor would have liked it more if he actually saw her keep her Muslim part and actually defend it more and showing people the true side of Islam, instead of actually being completely against Islam as a whole, being against Muslims in general. I feel like that would have been so much better, you know, mindset wise at least. Like it makes more sense, you know. Why like, you know, the guys who killed her professors were clearly was clearly an extremist. Okay, like clearly he had a really fucked up view about Islam. I'm telling you this, why? Because there's a really good passage in the Quran, and something that I actually hold on dearly. It says this: if you save one person, it's as if you saved humanity. Okay, and if you kill one person, it's as if you've killed humanity. That is something I really hold in my head, even though I'm not a really religious person, but it is something that is engraved in my head because it's a really good point, and it actually says a lot about Muslims in general. if you guys look at the news and you see anything about Muslims going around shooting people, whatever, don't think that it's us Muslims, you know, us, when I'm talking about us, like me, you know. Those people who actually go around killing people have a really fucked up view about Islam. They're really brainwashed. They have no idea what's going on, you know. Those sort of people are usually very illiterate, uneducated. Most probably they're not even Arabic, because to really understand the Quran, you need to know Arabic, okay? That was actually one of her points as well. She said that you need to know Arabic to learn the Quran, which I actually agree with, because the Quran was written in Arabic, and you really need to know Arabic to actually fully delve in and to fully understand what's going on. Fuck that car. Holy shit, 4 cars, 3 cars. The other guy just turned around. Okay, let's see what else. The mission of every single Muslim is to spread Islam and to take over. Muslims believe it will be the only religion to control the world. Oh my fucking days, that triggered me so hard. What the actual fuck, girl? Like, please. What the fuck is up with you? Like, Muslims, oh my god, that is, you know, there's so much shit in that. Like, to the point where it's just over-exaggerated. That's what I'm saying. She over-exaggerates a lot, you know. One of them is being this, like, honestly, I've been living in the Middle East my entire fucking life. I've been living in Muslim societies my entire life. I swear to God, not one person has come up to me and has tried to achieve like everything she's saying here. Like, oh my god, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit, a lot of bullshit. Muslims are not trying to spread Islam. Those people that you see on the TVs are, yet again, the people in Somalia, for example, Al-Shabaab. Those people have a really fucked up view about Islam. Those people are trying to spread Islam in a very negative way. And we're back. I'm so sorry about the random switch in scenes. You're watching this clip a couple of hours later after that walk outside. My phone actually ran out of charge and I ran out of memory at the exact same time, so it was perfect. Like, I couldn't do anything for a couple of hours. So yeah, I'm recording this clip after a couple of hours. I'm sorry if you see my messy bed or whatever. I'm in my dorm at the moment. I'm not gonna really fix it. I'm not bothered. Okay, basically I was talking about Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab. I think I was actually just talking about Al-Shabaab, but I'm gonna introduce Boko Haram. So basically those two groups, right? Al-Shabaab and Boko Haram, they're Islamist terrorist groups, you know. They're not a true representation of Islam whatsoever in terms of everything. Like Boko Haram, actually, their name stands for Western Education is a Sin, if you guys didn't know that. So what they do is basically they go around places like Nigeria, these sort of places in Africa. And basically, sorry about the shaking. And basically, if children go to schools that provide Western education, then a lot of the time what they do is they actually get militants and terrorists to actually go there and kill everyone inside there, like even if they're kids, you know, just because they're actually learning things from Western education and stuff. So it's pretty sad, you know, it's really sad. And like the thing is, most of the time us Muslims actually get compared to these guys. Like when people see these guys on the TV, you know, these terrorists, sadly, and they find out that, oh, these guys are actually Muslim, quote unquote Muslim. They look at these people and they're like, oh, every single Muslim person is like that. When in reality, that is definitely not the case. Like, honestly, I've been living in Qatar for most of my life. Qatar is like, I think, the second safest country in the world, and most of the population is actually Muslim. I mean, I guess that says a lot. Just what I kind of want to say is like, don't believe bullshit you hear on the media a lot of the times. Like, trust me, my mom works in the media and she talks to me about this sort of stuff all the time. There's a lot of bullshit on the media, like a lot of bullshit. I have 2 minutes, so I'll try and conclude what I want to try and say. I guess what I want to say is just be more open-minded. Do your research before you actually judge people. like what that Wafa Sultan person, like I did a lot of research on her before I actually did this video. Like I watched loads of videos over the past couple of days, you know, it's been like a week or something, and I've been watching a lot of things about her, and it's just, you know, like you reach a point where you're like, what the fuck is she even saying, you know? She sounds like a person who's never even lived in the Arab world, sadly, from what she's saying. So it's really sad. But hopefully people can learn from these sort of things. Like, it's bullshit, trust me. It's sad that she actually got to be one of the most influential people in the world for legit doing shit all, sadly, for legit just speaking out of her ass, in all honesty. But what can we do? I mean, it's an open free world. Everyone can say whatever they want. I just like everyone to be more open-minded when they say things. Always do your research. It's not good to just talk about things when it comes out of your ass. Like, I'll just tell you a quick story on Discord. On Discord, right? Like about 7 months ago, 8 months ago, I don't know, some guy messaged me, right? And this guy was from the Doofus server. So if you're watching this, then yeah, he was actually on the Doofus Discord server. And basically he was just talking to me, and he was like, are you Muslim? I'm like, yeah. He's like, aren't you ashamed of being Muslim? Don't you want to kill yourself? I'm like, why? He's like, don't you see all your people actually going around and killing people all the time? And I was like, man, like I didn't know how to react, you know, it was just so silly. So, I don't know. Lesson learned, I guess. I have 20 seconds, so I'm gonna head off. Hopefully you'll see this vlog. I don't even know why I do these anymore, but I'm just doing them for the fun of it, because I like speaking. I like speaking a lot, if you haven't noticed. So anyways, have fun, you guys. It was nice talking to you guys. If you enjoyed the video, then yeah, I'm glad you did. And please learn something from it. Please learn something from it. Goodbye.